So let's just dive in. Try something different every year. Some of them work, some of them don't. It's so much more fun to not be overwhelmed. There we go. And you can see we're not disturbing the roots hardly at all. Hi, I'm Megan, and we're here on Wood Prairie Farm. We're in the greenhouse. This is one of the happiest times of year for me. It's still cold outside, but it's a little warmer here in the high tunnel. What I'm going to do today, and I'm really excited about this, it's called a seed snail. Well, here's some of these little guys already. We've got a purple kohlrabi. These are about 3 weeks old. It's a purple kohlrabi, carrots. Here's a little claytonia salad greens, and here's a lettuce salad green. Let's get started with some additional vegetables first, and then I'll show you how to plant those. I got some corrugated cardboard. We're gonna get it soaking wet. We're just going to get it wet so the seeds will germinate. I think it's fun to try new things. Try something different every year. Some of them work, some of them don't. All right, we got one wet. Let's get the other one soaking while we're planting the first one. That one is soaking. Now, what I like to have wrapped around the outside of the snail, a layer of landscape fabric, and then a layer of corrugated cardboard. So now we need some soil. I forgot about that. This is Fort V compost. We've got it for sale on our web store, but it's just a really nice seed starting medium. And I'm gonna give just a thin layer of this. These seeds are gonna grow in here for a short time, so they don't need a lot of dirt. I mean, it's a good system. You're saving on dirt, you're saving on space, and I think it's gonna be a great thing, especially for us gardeners who don't have all day or a big rototiller. We can do a small row, have it be successful, do another small row later. A little patchwork garden. Okay, that's some space for the roots to grow. The first thing I'm going to do is some Tavera beans. I love these little narrow beans. After I get this seeded, I'm going to take the snail roll into the house and keep it warm until the beans come up, and then bring it back out here. So we're starting with the Tavera beans. Starting your seeds early, you save on seed as well. It's nice to have your beans about 6 plants per foot. So I'll put about 8 seeds per foot on this, and I know that I'll get most all of them coming up. Here's the top layer. That's going to be the top layer of the soil. I'm going to plant those about an inch and a half deep. So what did I say? We're going with about 8 seeds per foot. Here I am standing up. I'm not bending over. It's very comfortable, and I can just plant those seeds. So there I've got my row of beans. I'll start growing this in a week or two. I'll start another row of beans. And that way, all of my beans won't be ripe at the same time. I'll have some one week and then later, some later in the summer. It's great to not have your beans come all at once. Pat those down a little. We'll give them a little water. So then we can roll this up. We'll roll it up and label it. We'll take it inside where it can stay warm. I like this landscape fabric because I know the roots aren't going to go sticking to it. So exciting. All right. Leave a little left over on there. And we'll put a rubber band around that. Okay, this guy's gonna stay in the garden, and this guy's gonna go back in the house to get warm and sprout. We'll make him a label. I could reach it. Okay, so these are our Tavera beans. They'll be the first bean we have this summer. So I'm excited to know that when my beans start to come, the Tavera are going to be ripe earlier because I've started them inside. There's going to be enough for supper and maybe the next day. There's not going to be a 5-gallon bucket of beans waiting for me in the garden. Yeah, it's exciting. Now let's start a row of Darini corn. We have our landscape fabric, our little length of wet cardboard, and I'm going to have some dirt on it because these will be growing in this. They'll probably be in this for 3 or 4 weeks. That's a pretty short time, 3 or 4 weeks. I think this should be enough. About a 1/2 inch thick. Okay, Darini corn. This is also one we sell here on the farm, and we grow the seed for this. I think I'd start with about 3 seeds per foot because I like about 2 plants per foot. We'll go about every 4 inches or so, so that I end up with about 2 corn plants per foot. So you can see the seed is going to go a long way with this method. We'll soak that soil a little bit to help the seeds germinate. And roll it up. It's going to end up being planted approximately an inch deep. I'm going to take these inside where it's warm as well, to get them germinated fast. A little extra landscape fabric, a couple of rubber bands. I think the cardboard is gonna keep that snail roll standing up. Remember to label everything. Two more little rows for the garden. So now I'm going to show you where they're going to go after they grow up. Okay, so I have a row of peas, sugar snap peas here. I have my snail. And you want to leave plenty of room because your peas are going to come up tall. And so you want your next bed to be almost 3 feet away from a tall thing like peas. So here we are on our wide bed. I like to plant the rows across. Plant them however you want. This is just what I like to do. I have my broad fork. I like to loosen up the soil a little before planting. This soil has been sitting under some mulch for a while, so there's no weeds growing on it. There's a few grass roots down inside of it, but so you can see the soil structure down low is pretty nice, even though the top layer is a little bit dense. So this broad forking gets easier the longer you do it on a bed. A lot of the no-till gardeners use it. I'm kind of a sometimes no-till, sometimes mulcher, whatever works for the situation. We've got a lot of worms in the garden, so you've got to know you're doing something right if your worms are happy. Okay, that's nice and loose. Take the rake at it. I'm just settling that down again. We've made lots of nice air holes in it. I'm just going to run the rake over that. Settle the soil down in there nice again. Pick out any grass roots. Now that's so pretty, I really don't want to walk on it. The soil is so nice and fluffy. Okay, I'll just collect those roots. There, beautiful bed. I'm going to put 2 rows next to each other. One for the lettuce and one for a little row of kohlrabi I started. And I'm really excited that when those are planted, no weeds are going to be up. So you're going to be able to just walk by here, run your hoe up and down next to them. You know exactly where they are because they're already started. I think it'll work really good for me. I am making a row. My cardboard on my seed rolls is 6 inches wide. So these 2 rows are going to live right next to each other. We got to have this furrow 6 inches deep. A little deeper than your normal rows. All right, kohlrabi, here we come. Here's my purple kohlrabi. If you haven't tried kohlrabi yet, it's delicious. It's a nice raw cabbagey vegetable. I mean, you can cook it too, but so nice and crunchy. All right, we're gonna start this out. Lay it down in here. And I'm gonna keep the plastic out of the garden. Just gotta stand those guys up a little bit. Roll them out. Okay. So that furrow's not quite 6 inches deep, but it's working because I've got them leaned a little. And then I'm gonna just squish this together here. Tuck them down in. I'd say these are planted even a little too thickly. I'm going to end up thinning these a little bit as they start to grow. But look at how happy they are. They're already started. Whoops. Stand up, guys. There, you just arrived at the garden 20 minutes ago and you've already got a row that's 1.5 inches tall. Then we'll do a row of lettuce. Aren't they happy? Make this a little deeper. There we are. So the corrugated cardboard and the paper will compost down in the soil. Looks like I could have that a little deeper. And just disappear in the soil. Just start over a little. There we go. And you can see we're not disturbing the roots hardly at all. So they're not even going to skip a beat. They're just going to take right off. These lettuce are a little too close together too, but lettuce you can thin and eat the thinnings. And then the ones left behind will get bigger. There you go, guys. I'm going to tuck them down in. Hi, Ginger. Let's tear this off. Ooh, there's a worm right there, ready to go to work for us. We want to firm those roots down so they get good contact with the soil. There, we've only been in the garden a little while. We have 2 rows of vegetables. Isn't that pretty? I think it's gonna be, you know, I have hopes that it'll be a game changer in my busy life and busy garden. So this is it. We put in 2 little rows of vegetables. Thanks for coming out here with me. I just love doing this stuff, and I love growing the vegetables, eating the vegetables. But mostly I like planting the seeds. The animals don't really squish anything. You'd think, oh my goodness, keep them out of the garden.